What's good, guys? It's your boy Ama FX. So in today's edition, I just took two trades this week. Okay, one of the trades gave me about 3% profit. Then one of the trades were just break even. So I'm going to break down the trades, and then just a quick one, just for us to know. It is not good to judge your next trade based on your past. Yes, why I say this is I am trying to develop the habit of adding to my winners, okay? But I made a mistake this week. Adding to my winners shouldn't make me close out on the original trade. So this is what I mean. Let's say I enter at this point and my SL is here. Now somewhere in the trade I entered again here. My SL should be what I deem fit based on that level. This is because the market moves in zones. So what happened to me was the 4-hour zone I entered for the first trade has not been taken out. But under a lower time frame, 1 hour, I saw an entry. Now that entry came back to sweep liquidity and it took that SL. And I closed my other trade manually. That was crazy. And this trade kept going my way and going down. So, but I later entered again, and this is the one I made about 3% profit. But that really taught me a lot. I would have accumulated a lot of profit if I had treated each trade independently. So yeah, that was it for this week. Yeah, peace. What's good, guys? It's your boy Ama FX. So this was a trade I took last week, and I made 3.09, almost 3.1%. Now I want to break this trade down so we know how we arrived at this trade. So remember the drill, BVM. So the 1 hour looks pretty noisy. It looks pretty noisy, but let's delve into a lower time frame. But even from the 1 hour, I can see what I want to see, because now from the 1 hour, let's say this is Thursday, I wake up now and I see that we have broken down from this. Remember, something was building up around here. This was our lowest point, and then from there, the market pushed up. It came low, okay, and it even made a higher high, So with all of this happening, guess what happened? This candle that started from 10 a.m. broke both this level and this level. So remember our strategy, BVM, break of visible mode. So when this is broken, I knew something has been broken. Now what do I go for? I go for my fooling candle, what I call my fooling candle. If you move over 4 hours, you will really get a clearer picture of all of this. So when we broke out from here, this was that point I marked out from the lower time frame. When we broke out from here with this candle, so I was waiting for a fooling candle. I define a fooling candle by a candle that goes against the trend and closes with the body from where we broke out. This is the lowest point here. This candle broke out and removed these buyers that are sitting at this point. It took their SL. So this fooling candle is now coming, pretending as if we are going to buy up, but it closes this way. Now when the actual candle comes around, any body of the candle below this point is ripe for sell, and the sell is always going to come below here, because this candle has fooled people to think that the market is turning bullish, and then the market dumped on it. So with that being said, I moved over to a lower time frame. This was where I had a little bit of issues. So under a lower time frame, I was looking for a good entry, because the whole thing looks a bit confusing. Now if I was to enter this trade, okay, I would have entered with this candle, but also we have to bear in mind that this was the candle that cleared, that broke out from this point. It took out the buyers here, took out the buyers here. So it's now, pieces into about 4 candles, but if we go back to this 1 hour candle, it looks like one. It looks like one whole candle. As you can see, this is one whole candle. It started by 10 and the candle closed by 11. So, but now moving over to the lower time frames. Oh, my network. Okay, so moving over to the lower time frame, this is the last part of that candle at 10:45 a.m. So what was I looking at for? I was looking out for the trend to change back bearish, so that there is going to be correlation with what the higher time frame, which I see is now fully bearish. I want the lower time frame to dance in similar tone. That is just what I was looking out for. So when we broke out here, we started making higher lows and higher highs. Higher low, we made this low, we made a high. We made a higher low, we made a higher high. We made this low almost equal to this, and the market kept dancing around. So, but something peculiar happened. When we made this high, I was expecting that we touch this keys here. So we didn't touch it. So this candle here, because I noticed that I'm kind of late to the party. So because the rightful SL for this trade should be at this point. So I was now waiting for my kisses. So that was why I marked out all these levels and all of that. I was just waiting for a confluence to help me enter and exit properly. I would have nearly missed this trade, to be fair. To be honest with you, I would have nearly missed this trade. But when this thing kissed at this point, and then we started dumping, when it touched my case here, and then I started seeing structures, bearish structures. I now knew that, man, it's just time. It's just right about time for me to enter. So with the close of this candle, I guess, I just entered the trade, and as God would have it, it smashed my take profit. So yeah, this was it for this trade. So let's get rid of it. Now, before then, I'm doing this video in a reverse form or in a reverse fashion, because I really want us to. Sure, let me unhide all of this. Let me unhide them. Let's do 22, and then let's do this 22. Good. I think there was also another one I hit. Okay, yes, around this one. Let me unhide it so I will show us what's happened. I mean, we keep learning every day, but this trade I took actually told me. This trade I took it on the first day of. No, this was on 30th of August. Sorry, on the 30th of September. So now this one I took it on the first day of September, on the first day of October. Sorry. Now, same principle. Okay, we were making lower lows, lower high. So at this point, something got broken. This candle that broke out from around 8 a.m. took out the buyers who wanted to long this market at this point. So what was I looking out for? I was looking out for the trend to continue in the line it has indicated for me. So we had our falling candle by 9. If you watch, at this point, we had a body of the candle close above this point where the last set of buyers are, where the buying pressure is. If you can see, this is just pure market structure. There is nothing fancy I'm doing. BVM is just market structure. It's just me calling it BVM, break of visible point, but it's just market structure. So if you know market structure, you can just trade BVM. It's very simple. So now, this is where the buyers were. Now this candle took them out. That shows that the buyers here are no longer strong. So the market broke out to this point. Now we have had our falling candle. Now, when these things were all happening, they were happening when volume was not high. So I don't trade till it's around 11 a.m. I feel this is when volume actually comes into the market. So with that being said, I was actually waiting for my entry. So with this 11 a.m., I was in the market. So I was looking out for markets to close bearish with the body of the candle below here. I think I was risking, I think this was the point where I entered. Let me go to 5 minutes and have a clearer view to what happened that day. Okay, so here we are. Correct. And this was one of those trades that, man, I really enjoyed it. But I misused it. Yeah, I misused this opportunity. But it's all fine. We keep learning every day. So this was a trade. Now, when I noticed that we formed this body of the candle by around 12:30 below this level where the sellers are now strong, I entered my trade. And within minutes, I saw about 1:4 profits. Remember, I was risking around 24 pips, and this trade moved almost 100 pips. Yeah, almost 87. This is like 87 pips in my direction. So I wanted to hold, and I wasn't wrong though. I wanted to hold till this point. Sorry, I think right about this point. I wanted to hold this trade because I entered at the right time. But something funny actually happened, and this is why while you are trading you have to expect anything can happen. So same principle, I noticed on the 1st of October that the market also broke down because I didn't close the trade. I wanted to hold it till past these levels. So now on the 1st of October, the market made a new indication below this point. When it made this indication below this point, I was looking out for the normal things I look out for. I was looking out for a falling candle, and the falling candle came with this 11 a.m. So I was now looking for the structure to turn bearish. Again, simple. Go back to the lower time frame. Very simple. Go back to the lower time. The same thing repeated itself. At this point, around 12, we had this structure building bearish structure. So I entered the trade. But this is so painful. It was very, very painful. I'm not gonna lie, because I was really hoping big for this trade. Like, this would have been my biggest profit since for a very long time. So I think because I was too loaded, then it made me to become emotional and all of that. So this guy, I entered around here. My entries were perfect. We are very, very good. Now the market retraced back, made a new low. Now when we make a new low, it is normal for the market to, actually go higher than this, because people who entered from here took profit around this point. Forget that I want to swing this trade. This is the rightful point for me to accumulate profit and then leave. But now, if you watch from this point, where did the movement came from? It came from this point. That means this point is stronger than this. That is the message. So, but before I woke up, this 1 a.m. candle took my SL. Now I was scared that the trend has changed, because I was using this as my lower high, because this was a lower high. Remember, this point here was a lower high. Now this is a lower low. This is a lower high. This is a lower low. So when I noticed that this market has pushed up and then taking out this lower high, I was thinking that the trend is changing. But I failed to look at the general picture. This movement here, where did it come from? It came from here. Yes, this is a new low, but it's not as significant as this one. So yeah, I was swept out, and instead of me to treat the trade independently, at least that would have saved me. Or worst case scenario, I should have pushed this SL from here and broken even for this one. This wouldn't have caught me. What did I do? Once I saw that the trend, I was thinking the trend is broken and we may likely continue to go up, I closed this trade manually. Now when I closed that manually, the market went my way. So these two trades, I take it as almost break even, because this one took my SL And then this guy was, in profit somehow. So, and yeah, that was just it. That was how I missed this whole move, by treating two trades I should have treated separately, combining them together. Even if I entered, because I am learning to add to my winners, and it's actually very, very good to add to your winners. So now the logic behind the entries were very, very good. But I should have treated, this is a new idea, I should have treated it separately from this one. That was the lesson I learned this week, and I learned it in a very hard way. So yeah, this was it. But the last trade I took, that's the first trade I showed you guys, was actually profitable, and yeah, that's it. We keep pushing and we keep becoming better, we keep learning every day. Please, if you have not subscribed at this point, kindly subscribe to the channel so we keep going. Like, comment, and my face. Thank you guys for watching the video. I do really appreciate, the channel is growing. Please, if you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe, comment and like, so the YouTube algorithm will keep pushing this video to some other traders who need to see it. Let's keep growing together. AMA FX.